Every thought of you lingers like a soft whisper in my mind, uninvited but cherished. The way you linger in my thoughts, I can't help but wonder why you have such an effect on me. I keep replaying moments, conversations, and everything in between, trying to understand what it is about you that I can't shake. There's a quiet intensity to my thoughts of you that I can't ignore. It's not loud or forceful, but gentle, like a current that keeps pulling me closer, even though I tell myself to step back. I don't know why, but I can't seem to let you go. My mind keeps returning to you, whether I want it to or not. It's as if your presence has etched itself into the deepest corners of my thoughts. It's not even about anything specific. It's the way you make me feel when you're near, the emotions that I can't quite put into words. I try to escape from my thoughts of you, but they follow me everywhere, settling in like an uninvited guest who stays far too long. But the more they linger, the more I realize that these feelings are not something I want to escape from. It's as though they have a purpose, even if I'm not sure what that purpose is yet. There's something incredibly magnetic about the way I think of you. Every time I try to let go, it feels like I'm being drawn back in, not because I have to, but because I want to. It's as if my thoughts have a life of their own, dancing around you in ways I can't fully comprehend. My thoughts of you are like a gentle breeze that refuses to leave me alone. It isn't overwhelming or heavy. It's soft and subtle, but it's always there, constantly reminding me of your presence in my life and the feelings I've tried so hard to understand. I don't know why you take up so much of my mind. It feels like every moment I'm not thinking of you. I'm waiting for the next one when you'll occupy my thoughts again. And while it's something I never expected to feel, it's something I can't help but embrace. There's a softness in the way my thoughts of you appear. They come without warning, but they come with such intensity that I can't ignore them. I find myself constantly returning to you, wondering if you're feeling the same pull that I am. It's strange how one person can occupy your thoughts in such a profound way, and yet you don't fully understand why. You appear in my thoughts like an unspoken teard, unacknowledged, but somehow so deeply understood. You're in my thoughts so often, and yet I can't put my finger on exactly why. I wonder if you feel the same way, or if it's just my heart trying to make sense of something I can't quite explain. It's not that I want to stop, it's just that I wish I could understand it all. I can't help but smile when I think of you, even if it's just a passing thought. It feels like you've left an imprint on my soul, and no matter how much I try to brush it off, it's still there, quietly but persistently reminding me of the connection we share. Your presence in my thoughts is undeniable. It's as if you're always just on the edge of my consciousness, waiting for me to notice you. And each time I do, it's like a wave crashing into me, overwhelming but comforting at the same time. I've never quite understood why thoughts of you have such a strong hold on me. It's not anything I planned for, nor did I ask for it. But somehow, you've made your way into my heart, and now I can't imagine a day without the warmth of those thoughts. Sometimes I wonder if you know how often you cross my mind. It's not something I actively control. It's as if you've become a part of my inner world, quietly settling into spaces I never thought anyone could reach. Your name lingers on the edge of my thoughts, like a melody I can't stop humming. It's not something I planned on, but now it's here, filling the spaces in my mind with memories and feelings that I can't seem to shake. I wonder if you ever think of me the way I think of you. It's not a constant, overwhelming force, but more of a quiet undercurrent in my thoughts, always there, pulling me back when I try to focus on something else. It's fascinating how thoughts of you sneak up on me when I least expect it. They're not loud or intrusive, but they're constant, and I find myself drifting back to you time and time again. I can't tell if it's the memories we've shared or the emotions I haven't fully processed, but no matter what I do, I can't seem to stop thinking about you. These thoughts are a reflection of something deeper, something I don't yet fully understand. Every time I try to move on, I feel you in my thoughts, like a familiar presence that refuses to leave. It's not a burden, but rather a reminder of something meaningful that I'm not ready to let go of just yet. I wish I could say I could stop thinking about you, but the truth is, I don't want to. There's something about the way my thoughts of you make me feel, something deep and comforting that I can't walk away from. It's not that I'm consumed by thoughts of you, it's just that they're always there, gently nudging me in your direction. I can't explain it, but I don't mind it. I feel more alive in these moments of quiet contemplation. I don't know if you realize it, but even the smallest thought of you sends ripples through my heart. It's like a spark that ignites a flame of emotions I didn't know I was capable of feeling. Every time I think of you, it's like a piece of my heart is pulled in your direction. It's not that I want to control these feelings. It's that I've come to accept that some thoughts, some emotions are just meant to be. You've become a part of my internal world, a constant thread weaving through my thoughts. I never planned for it, but now that it's here, it feels as if you belong, like you were always meant to be in my heart. The more I try to push you out of my mind, the more you appear, like a song I can't stop playing. It's not a nuisance, it's a melody I've come to recognize as something that brings me comfort. It's hard to put into words, but every time I think of you, I feel like I'm seeing the world in a different way. Your thoughts have a way of coloring my emotions, leaving me with a sense of longing, but also peace. I don't need to understand why I think about you so often. I just need to accept it. You've found a home in my thoughts, and though it wasn't planned, it's something I've come to embrace with open arms. You haunt my thoughts in the most beautiful way. It's not a darkness, but rather a soft glow that keeps me thinking of you, wondering what could have been, and yet feeling content in the moments we've shared. Sometimes I catch myself thinking of you even in the quietest of moments. It's not because I have to, but because something about you keeps my mind racing, wondering what you're doing, what you're feeling, and if you ever feel the same pull. I can't seem to escape these thoughts of you, but I've learned that maybe I don't need to. They don't consume me, they just remind me of how deeply I've connected with you on a level I never expected. You've woven yourself into my thoughts, and it's not something I can control. But I have come to realize that not all things need to be controlled. Some feelings, some thoughts, are meant to be experienced without understanding them fully. In every quiet moment, I find myself thinking of you, and it's not something I'm fighting anymore. It's something I've learned to accept. These gentle waves of thoughts that bring me closer to you, even when you're not around. There's a certain peace that comes with letting your thoughts flow freely about someone you care about. I don't question why you're in my mind so often. I just welcome the feeling and the connection it brings. I could try to stop thinking about you, but I know deep down that it wouldn't make a difference. These thoughts are meant to be, and I can't help but accept them as a part of who I am right now. Every time you cross my mind, I feel a strange mix of emotions. It's not overwhelming, but it's present, reminding me that the bond between us is real, even if we don't always acknowledge it. You linger in my thoughts like a shadow, always there, but never in the way. It's not a bad thing, it's simply the way things are. I've come to appreciate how you shape my emotions and reflections without even trying. I don't always understand why I think of you so much, but I've learned not to question it. Some feelings don't need explanations, they just need to be felt. It's strange how you've become a part of my inner dialogue, Every thought seems to circle back to you, like a trail leading me back to something deep within me that I can't ignore. I catch myself thinking about you more than I ever thought I would. It's not something I'm ashamed of, but something I've come to embrace. These thoughts are a part of who I am, and I am learning to live with them. Your presence lingers in my mind, not in an intrusive way, but in a comforting way, as if you've always been there, just waiting for me to acknowledge it. I never expected to be so consumed by thoughts of you. They come at the most unexpected times, and yet I find myself more and more okay with it. There's something about the way you enter my thoughts that makes me feel alive. It's not about understanding, it's about feeling, and right now, I can't seem to escape this beautiful whirlwind of emotions. Your thoughts are like little whispers in my mind, always gently calling me back to you, reminding me of everything that makes you so unforgettable.